Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for you and your families for your service. I want to make clear about what's happening right now from my perspective. The Trump regime is executing a diversion campaign from the real challenges that face the people of our country. The military operation in Venezuela is yet another example of how the U.S. military can successfully execute a complicated, complex operations. That is not an issue. That is not the subject of debate. What is up for debate are the decisions surrounding this operation, its legality, whether it was worth risking American lives, and if there is a plan for what happens next. Recent polling shows that the majority of Americans are concerned that the U.S. will become too involved in Venezuela. We need to be focusing on hard questions about the future of Venezuela and the scope of the U.S. engagement moving forward. But while the Trump administration, Trump regime, pats itself on the back that they are refusing to tell the American people and Congress about what comes next. Instead, President Trump boasts that the U.S. will be running Venezuela for years, but it is not clear who will do that running. This regime is writing the script as they go along, but this is not a Saturday Night Live skit. This is real life. In the midst of an affordability crisis in our own country, this regime is focused on running Venezuela and debating which country to take over next. We're being asked to celebrate a foreign intervention that lacks a legal underpinning, as far as I'm concerned, or a clear exit strategy. Congress, the American people, and our allies and partners are left with more questions than answers. We need a president who respects the Constitution rather than relying on politicized legal opinions and his morality, as he puts it. Without accountability, a long-term strategy, and transparency, the Trump regime is failing the American people. Let me get to my questions. I ask initial two questions of all nominees before any of the committees on which I sit, so I will ask the two initial questions that go to fitness to serve. We'll start with General Donovan. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
General Rudd?
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement relating to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator.
No, Senator.
For General Donovan, Southcom has traditionally focused on security cooperation, counter-drug and disaster response, not high-intensity combat. I am concerned that the nomination of a general with your background signals the intention to expand high-intensity or special operations in the region without the right resources and institutional experience. For example, watchdog reports say that Southcom civilian harm mitigation staff has been reduced from 4 personnel to a single contractor. General Donovan, if confirmed, will you commit to fully implementing civilian harm mitigation policies, which is a very important, I would say, part of your assessment before you engage in any operations? Would you agree?
Yes, Senator, I commit to that.
So, and will you request the resources that you need in order to do the assessment that I just referred to? And this is just one example of the resources that I have concerns about regarding Southcom.
Yes, Senator.
For General Rudd, you have unique insight into the threats posed by China from your position at INDOPACOM, and I thank you for your service in INDOPACOM. But countering China's cyber threats demands strong technical leadership at the top. Cybercom's advantage has also been intelligence sharing with allies. It is very concerning that President Trump has withdrawn the U.S. from many international organizations focused on cyber coordination and deterrence. The cyber domain remains a vulnerable area that demands deep technical expertise and international coordination. Without this access to the kind of international coordination that Trump has taken us out of, without the kind of expertise that I would expect someone who will be taking over Cyber Command, how will you address these challenges?
Senator, I would, as you know very well, at INDOPACOM, allies and partners are absolutely critical to our approach. That will continue, and that is a critical part of all of our combatant commands. And Senator, if confirmed, I would continue to thicken and deepen those relationships. And to the point about the technical aspects of the job, I'm confident that the incredible talent at Cybercom and NSA will provide great advice, and I'm confident that if confirmed, I can continue to lead and enable those two organizations to provide the best support to our combatant commanders and the joint force writ large.
Thank you, Senator Hirono.